Well, the Royals leading the Rangers 1-0, top of the third inning. And joining us now, the 20th and newest member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, Michael Young. Michael, great to have you up here. Congratulations. A super ceremony.
Thank you.
Nice to see you and your family out there, and it had to be a great evening for you.
It was awesome. You know, it's one of those things where you don't really know how you're going to respond when you get up there, but being back in this ballpark, like I said, it's like a second home to me, so I always enjoy being here.
When you're down on the field like that right before the game with 40,000 people in the stands, is how great it was to be playing with 40,000 people in the stands go through your mind.
Yeah, you get like a kind of a similar feeling. I don't really get nervous or anything, but you get those little butterflies. I remember the same feeling when you play, even though you play so many games and you've had so many at bats. Every time I come down that tunnel around 6:30, I always felt those little pregame butterflies. I definitely miss that feeling.
Which is tougher, doing what you did tonight, or say facing John Lackey or somebody like that out there with 40,000 people watching?
Facing the big leaguers probably about 1,000 times harder than that. That's a walk in the park right there. It's funny now, especially now when you come back and you see these guys throw now, and obviously being away from the game for a little bit, your timing isn't nowhere near what it was when you played. You definitely have a big appreciation for the talent level of all these guys.
Sure. Well, it was a great, as I said, a great ceremony. As a matter of fact, Tom did a super job
yes, he did.
with his speech, and John Daniels, very gracious speech. I even like the Luis Alberto Vanilla.
I loved it.
Yeah,
the only bad, it was a great line. Probably about 10 people got it in the entire stadium. That was the only drawback, but it was a hell of a line. I loved it.
It took me a second. I looked down there and you're cracking up and said, "Oh yeah, now I get it."
I told him afterwards. I'm like, I tried to belly laugh you to save you, kind of bail you out a little bit because I didn't think many people knew about that one. But that was definitely a good line. I loved it.
One on, nobody out. Back to the top of the Royals order. Alcides Escobar fouls it off. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Well, how are you enjoying what you're doing now with the Rangers front office?
I love it.
Is it a good transition for you?
It's been a great transition, and I have them to thank for it. They've really allowed me to kind of make sure that I have my time, my flexibility with my schedule, which was the driving force behind why I retired in the first place. I wanted more time at home. And they've been able to give me that. But at the same time, I love baseball. I love being around the game. I love learning new things about the game. And through them, I've been able to accomplish that. And that's been a great thing for me. All the while, I still maintain the relationships that I've had in that locker room with all my former teammates and coaches. And, even today, talking about Bobby Jones, it's great to go out there and I get a chance to see people like that because I have this job right now.
Well, I know John Daniels, the way he's talked tonight and talked about you before too. They're very grateful to have your input, you and Darren Oliver and the guys that have been on the field and have a good feel for the game of baseball, the people in it, and what's valuable and what's not as far as the franchise is concerned.
Well, thank you, and that's one of the things that and it goes both ways. I've had the opportunity to learn from them.
Sure.
That's a whole different level of experience and expertise that they have that I don't. So it's been a lot of fun for me to learn that side of the game. Like I said, but the beauty of it is you still maintain your appreciation for the work that these players put in. And it's always fun for me to see players take next steps, become better players, especially the young guys. It's a lot of fun for me to see that come to fruition.
Michael, with all the new things you're doing out of baseball now, how closely do you follow the game? Other teams, box scores, stuff like that?
Very. And I kind of knew I would. I'm a baseball junkie at heart. I really love the game, and I do follow it. Even if we happen to have an off day or something like that. And that's nothing for him. Pretty sure he could have barehanded that and rolled over the but yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a tremendous amount of fun.
Well, the guys down in the truck came up with a little bit of a blooper reel for you, I guess.
I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
They were trying to throw you through a minefield over there.
Then here comes this thing. Like, smoke. I think the last one, almost this one right here almost got me.
Yeah, you almost walked into it.
Look out! Yeah. I was not expecting. The funny thing was that she actually did a great job. She gave perfect instructions in the media room beforehand, and clearly I paid attention to about 10% of that. So if I would have gotten burned on that one, I pretty much would have signed up for it.
Well, you say it's a piece of cake giving a speech. How much of a piece of cake is it giving a speech with a little one banging in your rear end throughout the whole speech?
Yeah. I mean, I tried everything. I mean, I negotiated with him, which is probably cardinal sin #1 as a dad. I tried to be firm, tell him to sit down. He wasn't having that. And his bedtime was usually right around 7:30, so he was running on fumes.
Well, you know, he wasn't mad. He wasn't whining. He was happy.
Oh, he was. Actually, the grounds crew was sitting in the Kansas City dugout, and I apologized to him because he's kicking dirt all over the mound. The mound was already looking perfect. It was game ready, and he took it upon himself to pretty much thrash it. So that's my boy.
Yeah, kids are great, and it's great to have the opportunity to have them involved in that too. I would think that you know, you get honors like that. So often the family's kind of off to the side someplace, but they're right in the middle of that. That's got to be a lot of fun for you.
It really is. You know, the interesting thing was the Rangers called last year to have me come in the Hall of Fame last year, but my youngest son is he'll be 4 next month, and didn't really get an opportunity to really watch me play. He has no memories of me playing baseball. There he is right now. Yeah, no memories of me watching me playing baseball. So we wanted to delay it a year so he can get an opportunity to, you know, enjoy it, and apparently he did.
He's going to be an audio guy. I can tell right there. He's trying to pump up that audio a little bit. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, none of that was shocking.
You say you watch a lot of baseball. Do you watch your friend Mark DeRosa do his show in the morning at all?
Man,
what's your critique on that?
He is a natural. It's unbelievable. So he usually a lot of times in the daytime I'll wake up, watch the news, and kind of take the kids out to school, whatever. I come back at 9 and I might slip in the gym, and his show is always on. Yeah. I'm watching it all the time, and he is absolutely a natural. Yeah, he was made to do that kind of work. Smart guy, knows the game really well, has been around a ton of different people, played for different organizations, and yeah, that thing is right up his alley.
Yeah, it was nice to see him come back too. I know that you guys developed a very special friendship playing.
We did, and it was a credit to the entire organization, because they brought him out here under the radar. I had no idea he was coming out here until I saw him yesterday.
Well, Lorenzo Cain trying to loosen that back up, and he's down to the count of 1-2 strikes.
I think everybody that goes down there, Michael, in that kind of a position, thanks the fans. What have the fans meant to you over the years?
Oh man. For me, fortunately, I got a packed house today, Saturday night against the defending world champs. Our team's in first place. It really is just a marquee matchup. So fortunately, it was tonight. But you know, like I said when I was talking out there, it's very rare for a player the fans saw really every version of me as a player. Mm-hmm. You know, you saw in the beginning of your career where you're just pounding through, trying to learn, trying to survive, keeping your head above water. Then you go through your prime years where mentally, physically, everything seems to match up. And then you go to late in your career where you're just battling away and you're playing through pain that you had no idea that you were going to have as a young player. And, for the fans to see all that, I really feel like that kind of leads to a very special relationship. And of course, we'll to be able to see them all in the community now that I live here, and it's just an incredible relationship with the local fan base. I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, I remember early in your career, you probably don't remember this. We were in Toronto. You guys were getting ready to stretch, and someone had just pulled some kind of a prank on you. And I happened to be standing there, and you said to me, "Man, I can't get enough bait. When am I going to stop falling for these pranks?"
Oh man, it was locked in every day. I mean, I was falling for. Man, I was falling for preschool.
You made the transition to be the one pulling the pranks too, right?
Exactly.
Michael, can you stick with us for half an inning?
Yes, sir.
All right, we appreciate it. Well, the Royals leading the Rangers as Texas comes to bat here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Kansas City, and Ian Kennedy back out to the hill. He's retired the first 6 Rangers in order. He'll face the bottom third of the order. Elvis Andrus, Joey Gallo, and Bobby Wilson. We're joined by Michael Young, the newest member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame. Michael inducted tonight in front of a sellout crowd. We had a sellout last month, but I don't think it was this much of a sellout. Every seat was full when you guys took the field, and a lot of people very intent on listening to your speech and celebrating your induction with you, Michael. I know that's, you talked about the relationship you have with the fans as a player, and you acknowledged the importance of the giving back to the community too, being part of the community. That's something you've always cared a lot about.
Absolutely. You know, I think I owe it to him. You know, one, there's a certain responsibility you have here as a professional athlete to try and give back. But two, I mean, making this my home now, I just didn't want to just didn't want to kind of sneak in and play my career and then do something different.
You know what? That swing by Elvis Andrus kind of reminded me of a swing I saw you take a few times. About 2,100 times.
Thank you very much. A lot of hits to the opposite field. Make sure you gobble them all up.
I thought Mark DeRosa had a good line at the luncheon yesterday. He said he used to follow you around trying to say to himself, yeah, I'm the same size as he is. I can swing the bat. Why can't I hit as well as he can? And he said he was talking to you one time, and you said, look, I've always got a base hit to right field in my bag. And DeRosa said, well, I'm looking just to get a couple of those base hits. It wasn't quite as easy for most of us, Michael.
Yeah, that was very nice fun. That's one thing about D-Row, though. We used to always talk hitting all the time. Another one of the things that you miss about being a player is to chop up the game with your teammates.
Well, when he came here, as I remember it, he was a pretty average hitter. And as he was here longer and longer, his swing and his style started to resemble yours. I don't think he was kidding when he said he watched and he copied, and he became a very good hitter.
He did. You're right. He had his last year here. He had a great year. Then he went to Chicago and played extremely well. And,
yeah.
He started toe tapping. I think a lot of it had to do with having Rudy as his hitting coach, and Rudy encouraged him to do a couple things. It just so happened that I kind of did a few of the same things, but yeah, what a great friend, great teammate. I mean, had a great career for D-Row.
Now, how much time with your job with the Rangers do you spend in the minor leagues? Do you do any of that?
A healthy amount of time. Fortunately, Frisco for me is just a quick drive. I'll be going to Round Rock next week, and then I make a couple trips to spring training, trip to instructional league. So that's the fun part about seeing like a kid at the plate right now, and getting to have a personal relationship with him and seeing him develop into a big leaguer now, and knowing that the sky's the limit for him. You take a certain amount of satisfaction in seeing these kids come up and play at a high level. Oh boy!
Elvis on third base. How about this? You detailed this story yesterday at the luncheon. Your love of clowns.
Well, that was cruel. That goes beyond the prank.
So the backstory is that I just do have a severe distaste, distrust, and just an overall. Yeah, I was cocked and ready. Yeah.
I've seen Adrian with that same look at Elvis when he touched his head.
Oh man, I owe him one.
And apparently your boys have seen that look once or twice because they backed off.
Well, the funny thing was,
don't do it, Dad.
This is no secret at our house. We went to go see the circus with my oldest probably about 5 years ago, and he started asking me the background stories. Oh, nice part.
Bobby Wilson with the RBI single. Tie ball game.
Basically, the entire time, you have. The whole circus is going. I basically give them every reason in the world why clowns are a bad thing. You want nothing to do with them, and it's not the most rational thing in the world, but we just don't jive very well, I guess you could say.
I like Adrian's line at the banquet when he was talking about the clowns, and he said, Michael knew who was inside the clowns. It wasn't like it was a real clown. Yeah. Like there's such a thing as a real clown.
Right. There's a person usually behind all of them.
Generally, it's somebody.
Yeah. It was nonstop, man. I mean, the back thing is once you guys know, once the guys in the clubhouse find out about your Achilles heel. Oh yeah. Now they're just.
How long did it take them to find out? I know you're.
Oh, I hid it for a long time. It was.
Who found out?
I think it was Hank did, and it was Ringling Brothers was in town or something like that. And they were doing the pregame thing out there, and I came out and I was just standing on the top step, just staring at all of them. And he finally kind of asked me what I was doing, and I came clean, which is a bad move.
Oh, man.
And then it spreads like wildfire. And here we are today with Elvis coming out and clown the mass.
If you were a doctor or a lawyer and that came out, nothing would have happened. Oh. There's something about baseball, boy. You don't want that to come out in baseball.
You really don't, and especially now, like probably about 10 years ago, that little blip right there would have been nothing, but now with Twitter and all this stuff, that's gonna.
Oh man.
Good. I'm gonna have a lot to answer to for that over the next few days.
Well, you got a lot of time to plan how you're gonna get back at it too.
True. Yes, sir. You are correct.
payback is always tough.
Yeah.
Now, when you're, not to change the subject, Mike, but when you're in the minor leagues, are you observing or are you out on the field advising and answering questions?
I'm in the dugout during the game. I go out for BP with them. I take ground balls with them. I talk to the infielders, I talk to the hitters, and I stay in the dugout during the game. For me, that's the fun part. It's very easy to sit in the stands and watch a kid, but I want to see their reactions to I want to see their reactions to different situations. I want to see how they, what they talk about if they have a tough at bat. I want to talk to them. I want to get their thoughts on what they're going to do for their next at bat. If they're going to sit on certain pitches, if they're going to look to do certain things when it comes to situational hitting. So for me, being in the dugout is huge, and that's one of the perks of the job is I get to get a uniform on and hang out with the kids in the dugout.
And here's some more of the guys in the trucks going back 2010 in Oakland.
That was awesome.
Winning the playoffs for the first, going to the playoffs for the first time in your career.
Yep.
That's, I don't care how old a player you are or how long you've been playing the game. The first time you win something, it is the highlight from there on out, isn't it?
It really is. Nothing like it. There's nothing like winning. All that hard work that starts in the offseason, through spring training, through the season, to be able to just have this, let it all out, and be happy and have all that joy is it's a pretty incredible thing as a player and as a teammate.
Yeah, people don't really understand how close you get to everybody in the clubhouse for 7 months of the year. You guys live together, you work together, you play together, you laugh and cry and all that.
Right.
When that one moment happens to where you see, as you say, all your work come to fruition, and you win it just exactly what you tried to work all those months for, it's a great release.
Sure, absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And then you really don't take a deep breath until all of a sudden the champagne's out and you're sitting in the clubhouse and you're like, whew, it's pretty fun, man. It's a lot of great memories.
Well, you're talking about working with guys at the minor league level. It sounds like you don't want to get too far away from the teaching, coaching aspect of the game of baseball.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely true. I mean, you get an opportunity to play at this level for a certain amount of time. You want to be able to pass on all the lessons learned. If you can find a way, I think every player is a little different. But if I can find a way to tell them what some of the mistakes I made, hopefully pass it down and shorten their learning curve a little bit. I feel like I owe it to them. And that's been a lot of fun.
Who are some of the guys that did that to you as you were coming up?
Yeah, I was we didn't really, when I came up, we didn't have as many special assistants coming down, but I mean, I was very lucky in the Toronto system that I had just fantastic coaches. I felt like when I got to the big leagues, obviously I had a lot of work to do to be a better player.
Right.
But I felt when I got here, I was a big leaguer because I was well schooled, a lot of hard work. Those coaches were just fantastic. And then when I got here, I was very fortunate to play with predominantly a veteran team. I was pretty much the only young guy in a squad like that. Like Tom said, I'm going for every prank in the book because it was all a veteran squad. But yeah, very, very fortunate in terms of timing for me there.
Mazzara, 2 balls, 2 strikes to him. Well, we'll throw out this here our Ford leaderboard tonight. Senators Rangers franchise. This goes back to 1960, 61, I guess it was. First in games, first in hits, runs, doubles, triples, total bases, at bats, multi-hit games, times cleaning out the clubhouse. You didn't miss much in there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty full career, Michael.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Played with a lot of great players and had a lot of great coaches. You don't do anything up here alone. You guys, I'm sure, went through that as well. You do nothing alone. Usually when something good happens to you, it's a combination of work that you put in, but somebody else is usually right at your side, helping you through it. And for me, I had no shortage of guys, from my hitting coach Rudy Jaramillo to all my great managers and all the great infield instructors who were helping me learn different positions.
Double play ground ball, Mondesi, Escobar, and Hosmer. And that'll do it for the Rangers. They tied the ball game on 3 hits, and they lead 1. Michael,
thank you
so very much.
Congratulations
again.
You got it. Thanks.
Newest member of the Rangers Hall of Fame. We have finished 3, a 1-1 ball game, Rangers and Royals.